Going for recording. A very good evening to all viewers, speakers, panelists of global conference on topic of school education system in India and as well as Brazil. So we will have a two speaker, Mr. Diogo Leonardo from Brazil. He will be talking about schooling in Brazil, followed by Urmi Maladas. She will be keeping her views on Indian education system. Followed by, we have panelists today, Babita. She is the founder of Edu-Craft from Jaipur. Ruchi is a principal from Uttar Pradesh. Deepika is an educationist from Jammu. And other members, those who are on the screen, will get chance. Time limit is required because we have to bind up the conference time. Once again, Global Edu-Leader Forum is focused towards experiential learning and sharing of experience rather than talking about philosophy. Gargi has joined. She is a academic head of BPS from Darjeeling. She will be putting her views. So we will be discussing more and more about our own experience of life rather than talking philosophically. So formally, on behalf of Global Edu-Leader Forum, I welcome one and all. A very good morning to the Brazil, because since 8 morning, and very good evening to the all Indian viewers. In India, we have practiced from Hindu mythology, I must say, our ancient Gurukulam, and which has transformed into today technological Silicon Valley. Same thing in Brazil. The fundamental of education is same, but today we are going to take discussion which will help us to go little wide range of our experience. So I hope I'm waiting for speaker not a join, Mr. Diogo Leonardo. Beatrice, he is available. Either we should start with Indian speaker.
Today, good morning, good evening. Today, my interpreter will be John.
Okay. So Jao is going to talk.
Yes.
Formally, I welcome you and over to you.
Good morning. Good afternoon for those who are in India. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Technology is teaching us patience. Proceed, you are audible. Joe.
Okay, but my internet's a little unstable here. Just a moment, I'm trying to fix this.
You want a share screen?
João. John,
Oi, oi, Beatriz.
nós não estamos te ouvindo.
Está parado aqui. Vocês estão todos parados aqui.
É? Não, normal. Quem sabe pede para ele passar
You get
adiante
ready.
pros próximos
I'll
para
be
não
taking
atrasar.
here Urmimala ma'am.
Internet.
Should I go ahead?
Bea, pede para ele passar para o
Yes.
próximo.
Just go ahead. I'm trying to fix this. And
Okay, Joe, you
right.
fix your problem, and then I'll come to you. Urmimala ma'am, she is the in charge of Northeast, Seven Sisters of India, Assam. I would love to hear you about Indian education system in terms of scholastic and co-scholastic. Time it 5 minutes. I think you will be precise to help other speakers.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, and thank you for inviting me to the JEL Forum to talk about the Indian education system. So I would like to start by saying that the education is simply the soul of the society, and which get transferred from generation to generation. Now, when we talk about generation, since we have, audience and educators from different parts of the world, I would say, especially from the Brazil, I would like to give you a little glimpse about the history of our Indian education system. As Mr. Singh had already used the term Gurukul, or what we call it as a Guru Shishya Parampara. So Guru means teacher and Shishya means disciple. And then we had this tradition of where the students were asked to be with the teacher in their own home and get educated from there. So that was started long ago on the 3rd century. So you can imagine in the long time back, this was the education system we had, where not only we talked about different subjects like astronomy or maths for that matter, zero is invented in India. So Aryabhatta was from India. We have the Ayurveda, that is the herbal medicinal plants, which is so famous all over the world, has been invented here in this part of our country. So when we talk about our ancient culture, it was rich. It talked about warfare. It talked about, emotional intelligence. It talked about the social communication that one needs to have. So that had started long time back. With the curriculum also. Now, during the Gurukul system, the students had to have a very self-discipline and a very controlled kind of life. They never had any kind of, lavish life where they would have a good home to stay, but they would have to stay with the teacher as the teacher would take care of them. So the student also has to take care of their teachers doing the household chores. That means it teaches about the life skill, how they are going to grow up and live in this world. So that was about a little bit about the Gurukul system. But as time passed, because as you know, India has been invaded by various foreigners. In the Middle Age, we had these Muslims who had invaded us, the Islams, and then the education system changed a little bit. And towards the 18th century, where the Britishers had reigned us for almost 200 years, the Gurukul system came down, and we had this modern education system where English was brought into a main important language, because it was said that the Britishers, when where, as they said, only people who can speak or write English would be taken into government job. So where this was the time that the modern education system began in our country. Now, coming to the present scenario, when we talk about the national education policy, which has brought a great change in our country. After 34 years, the policy has been changed. And now what we see is a tremendous change in different ways. Now, let me give you a sense. We have these foreigners from all over the world. To give you a little brief about the first basic idea about what is the NEP, that is the National Education Policy, talks about in our education system. It talks about what we call in K-12, that is kindergarten to class 12, it has been divided into 4 major groups. The first is like, it's called 5-3-3-4. That means in the first group, which is the foundation group, and which is very, very important, it starts with the age of 3 to the age of 8. And the classes which it comes under, it's the kindergarten, the lower KG, upper KG, and class 1 and 2. Now, one of the best part of NEP in this particular category is that the policy says that the teacher can use mother tongue. So here it helps the students to grasp, to understand the concept much more easily. Now, when it was usually there, but if you speak about certain regional schools or certain English medium schools, the teachers were forced to speak only in English. Now, because of this policy, it will help the students to grasp or understand when it's been spoken more in a mother language. Now, second category, which is called the preparatory stage, which is again for 3 years. Now, it includes class of 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the age group is between 8 to 11 years. Third is the middle school stage, where it is again for 3 years, and the class are 6, 7, and 8. Now, another important point in this particular stage group is that, the students will be able to do internship or some practical experience training. For example, if a child likes to do painting or dancing or maybe computer coding, they would be given opportunities to get this training in their school. So the child has the, opportunity to learn something of their own interest. Probably it was not so much in the previous time when the education system was running, because of the too much of curriculum being fixed and it had to be completed within the span of time. Coming to the high school, it is again 4 years, which is 9, 10, 11, 12, and which is again divided into 2 stages. Like 9 and 10 comes in the first, and the second is at 11 and 12. Now, another interesting point in this particular area is that, like, usually we had this 3 important streams, that the science, humanities, and the commerce. Now, another interesting point here is that if a student who has taken humanities, let's say psychology or sociology, and has a great interest for physics, then he can take the subject from the science stream. So which was not there before. So I think these kind of small little changes which has been brought has really going to make a lot of good difference to our education system.
Thank you.
Coming to, yeah.
Now I will be taking you. There is a very good point which has come, and I think Diego has already set up the classroom. Can I connect you on the language? It has been rightly mentioned in the NEP, Government of India, that teacher will have a freedom of language. Brazil and India collaboration base is an international language which is known as English. So now I think I would like to take Mr. Diego Leonardo. Are you ready? I would love to hear you, since he is a teacher from 10 years. Teaching as English language. English language is a second language in Brazil. I would love to take your views about education in Brazil. Unmute yourself, and I'm happy to see you.
Hello.
You are in the class.
Yes, we're in the class.
Hi to all bright students, those who are watching.
Can you see us?
Yeah.
So actually, I was told it would be with class of students, so I brought them here today.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, they're in the back here, the students. Give hello. Hello.
So hi, and bye from India.
So here in Brazil, the studies of English, it varies a lot depending on the place that you are. Here, where I'm working now, it starts on the 1st grade, right after kindergarten, but it varies a lot. Some places, they apply to students, the English studying, only after the 50th year, and it goes to the end of high school. it works only on a basis of teaching grammar and how to reach to students to pass on the test to get to the university. The school system of Brazil usually doesn't teach students how to speak English properly. We are more worried about giving the basis for them to understand the language, but not exactly how to speak it in its fullest. So students here, they just receive the initial part of knowledge that they can start in the language and so start moving on later during college to get the English expertise for speaking. Brazil school system is divided in 3 steps. Is what we call what people call middle school here. It's 2 steps. And then we have high school, which is only 3 years in Brazil. These guys are in the end of middle school, the last year of middle school. And soon they're going to another school that is for high school. But also the basis of English are the same as middle school, just focus on reading and understanding the language, but not producing it. Mostly grammar speaking. That's why Brazil has so low numbers in speaking English. According to the last research, only 5% of Brazilians can understand English and 1% can speak English at its fullest. So this is a pretty hot data for us here.
It's good to know and good to hear. I do promise India and Brazil collaboration, since as you told you only 1% people can speak in English. So we promise with this collaboration, I think we will exchange talks and we can take speaking towards a new height. Any student who can brief, introduce in English of your class, I would love to hear. Any one of your student who is sitting in the class can introduce name or about country in English.
Sorry, could you repeat, please?
Any one of your student can speak in English?
Let me check with them to be sure. Alguém quer tentar falar inglês com eles? No, but if you have any questions, they can translate to them.
I have learned bom dia.
Oh, just good morning. Só bom dia.
Anyway. So
yeah.
I hope we will have, okay, great. How are you?
I'm
fine.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And it's a great effort. So it is most important. Now we realize in education system, language for international exchange is a most important factor. I have a Gargi, she is academic head from Darjeeling, a beautiful place of India. Gargi, I would love to know about importance of language.
Well, a very good morning to the panelists from Brazil and a very good evening to all those from India. And a very warm evening to Mr. Singh. And thank you to you and your team for having me here as a panelist. Well, firstly, I would like to just correct. I'm from Delhi Public School, Fulbari, Siliguri, the foothills of Darjeeling.
Oh,
right?
Great.
I'm not basically from the mountains. I'm from the foothills.
Okay. Valley.
Yes, we are all, at a picturesque location. If you can just Google and look up the website of Delhi Public School, Fulbari, we're just a few kilometers, I would say an hour and a half from the Bangladesh border. And yes, I'm very proud of my school, the school I belong to. Yes, coming back to the topic, what you have, proposed as me to be the speaker. Well, the bilingual approach, what the national education policy has come up with, has given us some insight, especially you have, the takers of education from all segments of the society. So you have, from various spectrums of the society going to school. Some are going to schools, the private schools, some are going to the government schools. So when you have a particular age group, which is falling under what Sam Das has already mentioned, the primary, the first stage of NEP. So this particular language, the role of language plays a very, very significant role. Because you might be teaching, like, let me just talk like a layman. There are certain streams, I mean, certain subjects of your academics where
I request all the participants and viewer, please put yourself on the mute. Someone is at back, mic is on.
Yes. Especially if I'm talking about physics, if I'm talking about science, if I'm talking about environmental education. Yes, English is, of course, our official language. We cater to the entire, the strata speaking it. But then there are certain terms where you feel, I have come across various, YouTubers who are addressing various levels of education in their own language. So, when you are using bilingual as a medium of instruction, I feel I would just put it like it hits the learner well. Maybe your language is not being able to address what is being taught. And maybe the language, because we have to get them ready. We have to get them, 21st century ready. That's what, so, teaching them how to problem solve, teaching them how to read, write, okay, how to create, how to troubleshoot is one of the key agenda, what I have seen as an educator for almost 25 years. In the current NEP, the NEP which has been just rolled out, I mean, yet to be implemented. So language plays a very, very significant role in the mode of education.
Thank you, Gargi. I'm taking here Babita. She is a founder for EduCraft. So I'm taking question from the craft. How we can craft India and Brazil in terms of language? Or what are the area of scholastic? How can we enhance communication? English can be a medium. So Gargi, I would love to know India scholastic part. Schooling is okay, academics is going on.
Right.
Can we have some exchange of idea, some exchange of other thing which we can collaborate with Brazil in future?
See, we have a multidisciplinary approach to our current curriculum. That's what I would say. So, things what we are definitely doing, our way of teaching a particular thing and, just laying out, we have a rough draft, say a particular topic. Yes, Mr. Singh, yes.
My question direct to you, can you suggest some activity which can enhance communication of the Brazilian students as a project?
Yes, definitely. What I would say is, the thing what I normally do it with my class of, grade 9, 10 is, when I am trying to enhance public speaking and improve their, speaking skills, I just play a particular video.
Note it. I have taken public speaking with the activity. Just I will take you at last. Keep with you. Coming to founder of EduCraft, Babita from Jaipur,
yes,
Pink City. My still question is very common. How we can enhance speaking, as it has been rightly said by speaker of Brazil, 1% student can speak in English. So proudly say in India, more than 60% students can speak. So this language transfer from India to Brazil, Do you have any innovative approach? NEP said mother language, I respect, but still how we can enhance other country students, those who are seeking our help, seeking our advice, and collaboration of this universal global growth. So Gargi, Babita, I would love to hear you. Educraft is a very good word. I was going through a lot of things you are doing. So my best wishes and compliment to you.
Thank you, sir, and good evening to all of you, and good morning to our friends who are connected from Brazil. So, sir has asked a question from me because of the name of Educraft. So, I would like to reply you on the basis of art, because language is not only for speaking, it is.
Go ahead. It's a technology someone has put. Can I mute everyone and then we? I request all participants and viewer, please put yourself in a mute. Otherwise, I need to remove. I have only one option. Yes, Babita, go ahead.
Yeah. Language is English is not a language. This is a medium to exchange our information, our feelings, our expressions with all. So we can prepare them for English not only by speaking, but with the help of some activities. From India, like our country is mainly known for its yoga. As from last some years, from as a 20th June is celebrated as an International Yoga Day. So many countries except India are also celebrating this. So with the help of such activities, we can motivate them to for English language. We can also include many other activities. I am giving just one example.
Great. I think Beatrice, take the note. There are two people on the screen, those who are going to propose the collaborative activity to enhance English speaking, if I'm not wrong. I'm coming to you again. Diogo, what are the challenges you are facing? People don't want to speak. They have a fear. Or in general, I'm happy to say from 1 year, we are continuing our webinar from Brazil and everyone is understanding. I appreciate the effort of Beatrice because she is using translator, but always been active to enhance the speaking skill. And I am sure dedicated people, those who are in education, can take this flag high. So I would love to know what are the challenges and what kind of help you are seeking with India.
Here in Brazil, the challenge mostly are having with whom to speak. It's a big challenge. People don't have much where to practice English. Also, as you said, most people are shy of showing their English to other people, especially if they're foreigners. We have something kind of people call here the underdog syndrome, where we always think that our English is not good enough or that we have to practice more and never feel prepared. So when I talk to the students, I try to enhance their self-trust so that they feel enabled to other people. And I always try to remember that as a language, we never completely fully speak it 100% of the time right. We make mistakes, and making mistakes is acceptable. We have a very, in Brazil at least, when talking about education, fault tolerance to mistakes. And when it comes to languages, people feel this as a big problem. And so working on the side of trusting the students and also enabling them to speak with each other and people from other countries too, like India, USA, England. It's the best way to lose themselves a little and start speaking part of English, which in public and private schools are very difficult to do. Most people do it during English specific language courses, ESLs.
Great.
Do you have
I think we do promise
applications?
we will coming Beatrice, we will propose some of the activity. Urmi ma'am, I want to take your closing comment.
Well,
Nation
yes,
like India, who has, I think, developed a competency of more than a regional language, English is being common in country. How other country students can be benefited with us? How we
yes.
can take our young leaders in the front to train the global students?
Okay, so for this, I think there is something concept called each one teach one. So if our students, maybe a student from the 8th grade who has a fair way of understanding English language could take up a student from a Brazil and could exchange. And there was an activity which I have done with an international schools. It's called Access Micro Scholarship Program, where we had taught few hand gestures, and each hand gestures can teach various vocabularies. So here English, it doesn't become difficult. Like if we use a hand gesture like this, which is like great job, and to teach that, but everyone can do this, and they use the term great job with the hand gesture. So next time you show a flag card and say it's great job, that's the way it finds it very interesting. Show a bird, or by showing a hand gestures, or by showing some kind of an expressions on your face, or using drama or a dance, which is much more fun than just teaching language, is more interesting. And as you know, the Indian culture is so rich. I think if we collaborate with some of our students and with the students of Brazil, I think that combination will give them a lot of good ideas. I think that's what I feel.
I think
And
Beatrice, take note of it. And good news, which I want to share, that was a secret Beatrice told me not to public, but I'm publishing all the webinars which is being done with the collaboration of Brazil is going to be written in a book form. And very soon you will get a beautiful collaborative learning approach. So I think I'm thankful once again. Urmi ma'am, get your volunteers ready and we are going to collaborate for language learning. Puneet is smiling. Puneet, how students of Army Public School is going to collaborate with Brazilian students in terms of language teaching?
Sir, Army Public, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, actually Army Public School have versatile students, because students for all the states of India, the diversity is found in Army Public School. So they have the exposure of almost all the states in India. So they can be of great help to Brazil to learn language.
So why can't we
because
have a dance, drama and language together?
Yes, definitely. Why not? I'm there, sir, because that is my area also.
That's great. So Beatrice giving you two names, Puneet Kaur and Urmi ma'am, along with Gargi and Babita, is going to create activity which will have collaborative learning from Indian students to Brazil students. Indian students will get exposure to experience their learning, and the Brazilian students will get benefited with English speaking. Closing comment from Babita. Any innovative idea which you would like to suggest in terms of craft? Because Urmi ma'am is a very good classical dancer, and so music and dance is being covered. I will request you any innovative activity with the craft in language. Unmute yourself for last 1 minute closing comment. Gargi, you get ready for your closing comment.
Yeah, if we think that we are teaching them, then it will be difficult for us and for them, because study is very boring for all. But if we'll do some activities like origami, All of you are familiar with this word.
Yes.
Origami
Good,
is also
good.
a very good craft. We can make different techniques, like Urmila ma'am told, gestures. So with the help of origami, we can make different animals, different plants. So they will learn all the names.
I think craft is ready. Beatrice, second compliment to you.
And this relationship we talked about.
Coming to one
Sir,
closing comment before we go for a close. What kind of activity you would
well,
like to propose?
I would. I propose that, you know, like a student of India, any school, irrespective of any school, you know, connects with a student of Brazil, and the student of India introduces him or herself in English, okay? And then the student from Brazil, he or she introduces himself or herself in English, in her Brazilian language. So then they connect, and then the Indian student, you know, basically tells them, I mean, these are what you basically meant when it came to. So the introduction is somewhere which works. And then, of course, you have the telephone conversation. You go on talking in your language.
Very soon we are going to connect this. Puneet, you wanted to say something? 90 seconds more to go.
Sir, actually, I was just connecting what Gagi, what EduCraft, and what Urmila said. Ma'am said that in NLP we have art integration and sports integration and AI integration in all the subjects and language also. So that can be used to increase the communication.
Okay.
And,
so I declare Puneet and Urmi ma'am will volunteer this project of language learning from Brazil. On the screen, all viewers, because once you take some spontaneous decision, and I know both of them personally, Raghav sir is on the screen, your closing comment, you are hiding. I would love to hear you. Collaboration of, and you are a student of language. Unmute.
Yeah, I am very much a student of language. So I can pitch in, is absolutely no problem. Good evening from India to everybody. I'm ex-Air Force guy. I would love to pitch in actually. Not I can, I would love to pitch in.
I think you are added in the project. Now, my closing remark. Today talk was absolutely practical talk, other than the previous one where we talked something philosophical. Credit goes to you, Diego, because you are live in the class, and I really appreciate your enlightening